Just got a sale. Now that's how I like to start a video. Hey, my name is David, and welcome back to the Restyle File. I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, eBay, and I also can sign on the RealReal. And today I have a what sold video that will cover my sales from November 12th through November 18th. Before we start, please make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time I upload a video. You know, this was a strange sales week because in the moment, I felt like I was making sales pretty consistently. But when I looked at it at the end of the week, I realized I actually didn't sell that much on Poshmark. I sold very little on Depop and Mercari, and eBay was the runner this time around. I have been working very diligently to list consistently, so I think the issue with Poshmark might be the fact that a couple of weeks ago I took some time off, and I feel like the algorithm punishes me every time I come back and makes me work for it in order to get things running smoothly again. But we're going to start off our debrief with Sunday the 12th. I had 2 Poshmark sales and 1 eBay sale. The Poshmark sale was a Coach Vintage Classic Made in New York brown suede belt. It sold for $35, which was my full asking price. After Poshmark's fees, I received $28, and I paid $2 for that belt at a Salvation Army, so my total profit was $26. I love selling Coach belts. I feel like they very rarely ever sit for too long, and I've also heard that the Made in New York Coach items can command a little bit higher of a price point, which might be true. I feel like a couple of times I usually get offers for my Coach belts and they land somewhere around the $25 range. But this one, no questions asked, sold at the full asking price. So maybe there's something to that. The next sale on Poshmark was an Allbirds Wool Runner Mizzles water repellent sneakers size 10. They sold for $30. After Poshmark's fees, I received $24. I paid $5 for those shoes at a family thrift center, so my total profit was $19. This seems about right for Allbirds. In my experience, it's hard to get more than $25 to $30 or $35, even if they're in impeccable condition. The brand really seems to have burned out. The next sale was on eBay, and it was a Marcella New York City Iris Black Sheer Witchcore Viscose Blend Tunic size extra large. I didn't realize until afterwards that I typed gotch instead of goth. What is gotch? The tunic sold for $40, which was my full asking price. After eBay's fees, I received $36.66. I paid $1.20 for this top at Goodwill because it was marked down at 75% off. So my total profit was $35.46. I'm pretty pleased with the profit on this one since I had such a low cost of goods, and I will say that it had a lot of attention. So even though it's not the most expensive thing retail, Marcella might be a brand to watch out for. I had watchers on all applications for this top. The next day was Monday the 13th. I had 1 eBay sale. And that sale was a Lost Horizons vintage 80s handmade thick wool kettle dyed cardigan size medium. It sold for $30, which was an offer. After Poshmark's fees, I received $25.37. I paid $1.50 for this sweater at a family thrift center outlet, so my total profit was $23.87. I bought this sweater just because it was very sort of grandma core, and I thought it would be a great layering piece for the fall, and it actually didn't sit around too long. I think it sold in under a couple of months. The next day of sales was Tuesday the 14th. I had 1 Poshmark sale, 1 Depop sale, and 2 eBay sales. The Poshmark sale was a 0039 Italy purple yellow wrap Havana midi dress size small. It sold for $50, which was an offer. After Poshmark's fees, I received $40. I paid $8 for that dress at Goodwill, so my total profit was $32. I had never heard of this brand before. This was just like a good day at Goodwill where I found a bunch of dresses from obscure but expensive retail labels, and I thought there's a great opportunity to sort of test some of them out. I thought this dress was really nice. I think it would have sold faster if I had listed it maybe in the spring or so, but I didn't get it until the midsummer months, so it sat around for a bit. The next sale was on Depop. It was a vintage 90s Y2K red leather grommet wide belt size medium/large. It sold for $24, which was an offer. I do offer free shipping on Depop, and this is an older listing, so it's not one of the ones with paid shipping. So After shipping and Depop's fees, I received $13.69. I paid $3 for that belt, so my total profit was $10.69. That belt also had a fair amount of attention on different websites just because it's very Y2K, and belts seem to be selling pretty consistently for me lately. The next sale was on eBay. It was a Banana Republic black chunky lug sole Italian leather wingtip shoes size 9. They sold for $50, which was my full asking price. After eBay's fees, I received $41.32. I paid $15 for those shoes at Goodwill, so my total profit was $26.32. While there's a lot of Banana Republic that is very sort of oversaturated on the selling platforms, they do sometimes make really, really nice quality pieces. And it's not uncommon to find shoes by them that are made in Italy and have really nice leather. It might be worth picking up. To be honest, I actually picked these up for myself like literally years ago, and I never wore them, so I just went ahead and listed them a few months ago, and they finally sold, and they had a lot of watchers as well. The buyer had actually sent me an offer for $40, and I was about to accept it, but then the buyer outright bought the item. And in their feedback, they said that they were concerned that maybe one of the other watchers was going to buy it, but that they loved their shoes. So I was thrilled with that. The next sale on eBay was a Zara Premium Monteco Italy wool blend double-breasted coat, size extra small. It sold for $100, which was my full asking price. After eBay's fees, I received $84.97. I paid $10 for this coat at a Salvation Army, so my total profit was $74.97. This was a fantastic sale. Another situation where the buyer first sent me an offer for, I think, $90, and I was about to accept it, and then the application was saying that I couldn't accept it because they bought it at the full asking price, which is awesome. Love that. But it is so funny because I had that Zara coat sitting in my shower for over a year. And when I say shower, I mean like my spare shower, which I sometimes use as an impromptu steaming rack or an impromptu project corner. If I have things that I need to stain treat or fix a button or do something on, I will hang them on the shower rack and eventually get to them. But this piece I just left forever. The only thing wrong with it was that it was missing a button, and there was one on the interior tag, but I was just, for whatever reason, I just couldn't work up the energy to actually do it for a long time. But I finally hunkered down, sewed on the spare button, and as soon as I listed it, in less than a week it sold. I really just listed this and it sold very quickly. So you gotta love when that happens, but you also kind of hate when that happens. Hate yourself when that happens, because that means you could have very easily flipped this a long time ago, but you just sat on it because you were being lazy. Absolutely thrilled with that sale. Already got positive feedback on it and hope they love it. It was in really great condition and a really nice coat. There was a lot of blogger photos for this coat, and it also had a specialty label, Monteco, which is an Italian wool fabric house that is well known for their wool. So this was a nice coat, not just one of those polyester monstrosities that they sometimes shovel out. The next day of sales was Wednesday the 15th. I had one Mercari sale and one eBay sale. My Mercari sale was a L'Artiste Spring Step Rare Grazia Bohemian Tapestry leather boots, size 8.5. They sold for $70, which was my full asking price. I do pay for shipping, so after the shipping fees and Mercari's fees, I received $51.30. I paid $13 for those shoes at Goodwill, so my total profit was $38.30. Me personally, I don't really pick up this label a lot. I've heard other resellers saying that it works out really well for them. I don't know why I feel like it seems like the kind of item that could potentially sit for a very long time. But when I saw the sort of tapestry woven pattern on the sides, I thought these are worth looking up when I was at Goodwill. And I checked them, and the comps were really great. They were selling anywhere from $50 to $120. These were a bit beat up, so I was willing to meet somewhere in the middle. and they sold very quickly as well, a matter of a couple of days. The next sale was on eBay. It was a Pistola Grover Military Royal Honor Green Star print jumpsuit, new without tags, size small. It sold for $68, which was an offer. After eBay's fees, I received $57.32. I paid $2 for this jumpsuit at a Salvation Army because it was a half off day, and they, for whatever reason, sometimes they price jumpsuits very low. So my total profit was $55.32. This was also an item that I listed fairly recently, and it sold very quickly. And Pistola is very hit and miss. I usually have yet to see anything really incredible when I check comps, but this particular jumpsuit did appear to have pretty decent comps, so I knew it was worth picking up, and I mean, it was $2. It was $2 and it was in excellent condition. What more can you ask for? The next day of sales was not Thursday, because Thursday I had 0 sales. But on Friday the 17th, I had 1 Poshmark sale and 1 eBay sale. My Poshmark sale was a New Balance black Minimus barefoot Vibram sole running shoes, size 9.5. They sold for $50, which was my full asking price. After Poshmark's fees, I received $40, and I paid $7.50 for those shoes at a Salvation Army, so my total profit was $32.50. I don't feel terribly knowledgeable when it comes to sneakers, but I did check comps and the sell-through rate for this particular style of New Balance shoes on eBay, and it appeared to be pretty good. And also, just in general, the whole barefoot phenomenon when it comes to running shoes is still going strong and has a pretty active market. So anytime you see any of these styles of shoes, they're definitely worth checking comps for. Those also sold very quickly. The next sale was on eBay. It was a Shane Justin rhinestone powder blue exposed bustier dress, new with tags, size small. It sold for $80, which was my full asking price. After eBay's fees, I received $68.11. I paid $8 for that bustier dress at Goodwill, so my total profit was $60.11. I'd never heard of this label before, Shane Justin. It appears to be a sort of boutique online label of sorts, and some celebrities appear to have worn it. I think Cardi B have worn this label before, and some of their items can command pretty decent money. The last day of sales was Saturday the 18th. I had 1 Poshmark sale, 1 Mercari sale, and 1 eBay sale. The Poshmark sale was a Madewell 9-inch mid-rise skinny polka dot jeans, size 28, new with tags. They sold for $30, which was an offer. After Poshmark's fees, I received $24. I paid $6 for those jeans at a family thrift center, so my total profit was $18. I have had these jeans for years, and I cannot tell you how excited I was when I got that $30 offer. I think I had them listed at like 45 or 50, but when I saw that $30 offer, I was absolutely thrilled. I was like, yes, please take them. I will pay you to take them from me, just because I cannot bear to see this photo of these jeans anymore. I bought them like just on the cusp of when skinny jeans were starting to die out, and I thought, Madewell, this means money. I can't wait to flip these they originally sold for like $128, and they're new with tags. I'll probably get like $80. No, that's not what happened. They sold. Took literal years, but they sold. Plague me no more with your horrid visions, Spectre. The next sale was on Mercari. It was a vintage Carolyn Tanner Southwestern Aztec leather rope belt, one size fits most. It sold for $26, which was an offer. After Mercari's fees, I received $17.91 since I also pay for the shipping. I paid $3 for that belt at a Goodwill, so my total profit was $14.91. I picked this belt up just completely on a whim. It fell into my death pile and sat there for a while. I eventually listed it. It still sat for a while. The last sale was on eBay. It was a flawed Tucker Blair needlepoint beer whiskey alcohol belt, size 34. It sold for $15, which was an offer. After eBay's fees, I received $13.72. I paid $4 for that belt at a flea market in South Texas, so my total profit was $9.72. These needlepoint belts, you need to be on the lookout for. They can be worth serious money. And I'm talking from experience. I've sold 2 other ones in my past from another label, a really good one that you need to know about called Smathers and Branson. I think even with lesser known brands, you can still do pretty decently with them. The only reason I let this one go at such a low price was just because it was pretty flawed. The brass buckle had all kinds of scratches and peeling all over it, and the belt itself had some water damage, and also there was a couple of parts on the belt where the needlepoint fabric was coming apart from the leather backing. I could have possibly invested in putting some glue in there and maybe even bought some paint to fix the brass thing, but I am drowning in projects, y'all. I don't need any more, so if I can move stuff out with a flaw or two, I'm probably going to do it until I'm a little bit more above water. Does anyone else have a bad habit of picking up projects that end up just in the death pile and never get worked? Commiserate with me in the comments below. Let me know. That's all my sales for the week, so let's go ahead and talk totals. So on Poshmark, I sold a total of 5 items for $195. After Poshmark's fees, I received $156. I paid $28.50 for the items that sold on Poshmark, so my total profit was $127.50. Yikes. The next platform was Depop. I sold 1 item for $24. After Depop's fees and the cost to ship, I received $13.69. I paid $3 for that item that sold, so my total profit is $10.69. On Mercari, I sold 2 items for a total of $96. After Mercari's fees, I received $69.21. That's also accounting for the shipping costs as well. So my cost of goods for the items that sold was $16, so my total profit was $53.21. On eBay, I sold a total of 7 items for a total revenue of $383. After eBay's fees, I received $327.47. I paid $41.70 for the items that sold on eBay, so my total profit was $285.77. So on all my platforms together, I sold 15 items for a total revenue of $698. After the fees associated with the platforms and the cost to ship some of the items, I received $566.37. I paid $89.20 in cost of goods for the items that sold, so my total profit is $477.17. Just shy of my $500 weekly goal, but in the grand scheme of things, I really didn't sell that many items, and I still turned a pretty decent profit on the majority of them. So I'll take it. I'm hoping that with more consistent listing, eventually Poshmark will forgive me for, that whole being a human and taking time off thing, and reward me with some more sales. When in doubt, list, list, list. When sales are up, list. When sales are down, list. When sales are sales, list. When sales are not sales, list. When you're awake, list. When you're asleep, list. This is clearly a joke, but still, list. Thank you so much for taking the time to view my video. I really appreciate your support of this channel. Please make sure that you continue to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. And I will see you in the next one. See ya. I'm reporting to you live from my bathroom, also known as my steaming studio. So this is what it looks like normally. I have 2 bathrooms in my place, and I clearly only use one of them. You can see that I have things hung up here. This is a new dress by COS that I bought for a pretty good price, and it had like a little mark right here that I just threw some dish soap on, and it is now good to go. I found this really incredible 2-piece set by Betsy Johnson from the early 2000s/90s. This velvet sort of snakeskin print, and it had deodorant marks. So I went ahead and scrubbed away at those with some dish soap, and it appears to have worked like a charm. Here is this really expensive retail label, Gauge 81, that I've never heard of before. And it also had a stain on it, and it came out pretty well with dish soap, so I think that piece will probably do well. Very quiet luxury. These are just some more hangers, and this is a dress by Road, which is a pretty well-known designer label, but you can see here that it has some tearing, and I have had this here for probably like a year or so. I've compared notes with 1 or 2 other resellers, and apparently I'm not the only person who does this. Please tell me I'm not the only one who's crazy. That's all for today. Thanks for tagging along, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!